Well, spring has definitely sprung here in West Wales. I'm out on my morning walk. I'm going to try not to trip over tree roots as I'm talking to you. And now I'm being blinded by the sun. I mean, not literally, but it is quite bright. Right, okay, plans for this video. I am going thrifting, or charity shopping, or op shopping, depending on what part of the world you come from. And I haven't been for ages. I've been very, very good, but sometimes you just have to give in to temptation. And I have been weaving up some of my really random, slightly ugly handspun, and I've come up with a plan as to kind of how I want to go forward with the spinning, because I always have a plan. Sometimes they're not great plans, such as starting a second channel. Terrible plan, as it turns out. Trying to put myself in this very narrow kind of box of only doing hand spinning videos on this channel. Terrible idea. Did not make me happy at all. I mean, the reason I did it was I had this idea in my head that I wanted to kind of know who my audience was, and sort of the YouTube algorithm knows who to show your videos to, and so there was lots of kind of very good reasons behind why you would do it, but it just didn't really suit me. Didn't suit my personality. Didn't suit I think it's probably my neurodivergent brain. I think a lot of people it would have been fine for, but yeah, it just wasn't really working for me. Didn't like it, because as I say all the time, you're my tribe, you're my people, you're my crafty people, and I really miss not going to crafting group because it's just not practical. If you're new here, then you might not know, but I think probably everybody does know by now, but I am a caregiver for my partner, and YouTube was just supposed to be a bit of a fun hobby, and then I got kind of swept up in the whole, make YouTube your business and make lots of money and all that kind of thing. It all sounded terribly appealing, but the whole reason I started it and kind of what I liked about it, I was starting to remove from it. So I was starting to take the joy out of it, which was like, oh, Rebecca, come on, sort your life out, girl. This is not what you want to do. You want to have fun. You want to talk to people about, random stuff like you used to when you used to go to knitting groups and spinning groups that just not practical to go to anymore. So yeah, back to one channel. Sorry, that's neurodivergent brain I'm blaming. And yeah. Anyway, right, so I'm going to carry on with my walk, and I will probably see you back in the car. And we're not going very far for our charity shopping. We're just going to Fishguard, which is not very far from where we live. It's the main shopping town to where we live. And then Haverfordwest. But I'm not going all the way into Haverfordwest because I'm just going to the supermarket on the outskirts of Haverfordwest. So on the way there is a big sort of shed type charity shop at Letterston. So I'm going to pop in there. And I'm looking for crafting supplies, plus somebody gave me the tip to look at men's shirts for quilting patterns and quilting fabric, because I'd chosen lots of fabrics that I'd kind of thrifted. The trouble is, I really haven't picked the right sort of things for quilting. They were just, the patterns were too big. I mean, they're nice fabrics, but the patterns are just too big. So yeah, I'm going to have a little look for that. Always on the lookout for nice linen clothing for myself. So that's the plan, and I will see you in a bit. First stop is the hospice shop, and they generally have a really good selection of linens here. So if I'd kind of got into slow stitching, this definitely would have been a bit of a treasure trove, but I'm quite certain that slow stitching is not my thing. So I was really hoping for a bit of quilting fabric. I wasn't having much luck. I did like quite a few things, but honestly, I have quite a lot of this type of stuff at home already, and now I've got my loom, I'm weaving even more as well, so I resisted. I was quite tempted by the clock, but again, I resisted. They had quite a small crafting section here, but there were a few interesting stamps that would have been good for making cards. Nothing that really took my fancy. They also have a really good menswear section on the next floor up. So after I'd satisfied myself, there was nothing really in this kind of knitting pattern or kind of paper ephemera. I was off upstairs to look at the men's shirts. What I'd sort of failed to take into consideration is the taste of the population of Fishguard and the surrounding area. They're not really into their fancy shirts. I was thinking maybe there'd be some florals, but no, all checks. But then it is a farming community round here, and you know, farmers do like their check shirts, don't they? There were a few more formal things, but nothing really that I thought would make a good quilt. I don't particularly want to use these checks in a quilt. I'm really thinking about, as I said, florals. I then went to the next shop and they had a few more crafting supplies, but they do have a second floor that has a lovely bargain rail, and this was half price women's dresses. I find it quite difficult to find natural products and natural materials, awful lot of polyester, but there were a few things quite pretty. Do like my florals in the summer, but so many of them were polyester and I just don't want to wear it. Also had a quick look at the bedding and the curtains, but again, nothing really stood out as some fabric that I wanted to use. So another quick flick round the shop and off down the high street. This shop is not being used as a shop, but it does have a display in the window, and there was a Welsh quilt that somebody had made, which was really beautiful colours. And the paintings were also really bright, and it's a shame that there's not a business in here, but what they've done to brighten it up with a bit of artwork was really lovely. No trip to Fishguard would be complete for me without a trip to the bookshop and art supplies. There were a few nice new publications that I was quite tempted by, but I have to remind myself I don't have a lot of space, so if I bring something into the house, something else has to go out, and I'm not quite ready to get rid of everything yet. I don't think I'll ever be a minimalist. There's always a lovely selection of greetings cards, so I had a little look round to see if there was something that would be suitable for a few upcoming birthdays. But generally, I just like to window shop here. Just pulled in off the A40, gonna have a little look round and see what they've got in the crafting section. So yeah, let's go inside. What I unfortunately didn't film was that there was a jewellery lucky dip. So there's a bag of mystery jewellery and you pay £1 and pick up a bag of whatever, lucky dip. So I got a couple of those and I will open them at the end of the video. Well, it's so nice, I thought I would film in the garden, and I have treasure to share. So I'm going to start with the yarn. This is from 2 different places, and So this big bag here was £4.50. Now, there's no label on it, but it's either cotton or bamboo. I think it's cotton, and it's not a very scintillating colour, but I think I'm going to be able to dye this. And this is for weaving kitchen towels, tea towels, whatever it is we call them. This is definitely 100% cotton because it's got the label on. And again, this is for more weaving on the little rigid heddle loom. So, but that was separate. So how much were they? They were 50p each. Bit of a bargain, really. So I am doing very well with finding cotton for my weaving. So I'm very pleased about that. And yeah, so I haven't been to the charity shops for about 3 weeks, if not 4 weeks. So I was quite pleased to find these. Then what's next? So one linen dress, and this was in the half price sale and had £3 on it, so I paid £1.50 for it. Very pleased with that. Needs to have a wash. It's a bit musty, but I mean, it's just because it's been in the charity shop, it's fine. Then then we've got the Lucky Dip, which I'll open in a minute. And then a little book of papers for just a bit of paper crafting. Then this is most definitely quilting fabric. So I have sort of changed what I've been looking for and what I've been picking up with the fabric, because although I liked the fabric I'd picked up before, it was definitely upholstery fabric and the prints were just too big. So I was pleased to find these, and I'll show you in a bit more detail what they look like. Then this, I don't know how well you can see this. This is a 1950s chocolate box. So you can see there's embroidery as the chocolate box lid. And embroidery transfer enclosed. So I guess that embroidery must have been somewhere in here. I don't think it is anymore, but it was obviously a freebie that came with, there's chocolates and a chocolate assortment. I don't know, can you see that? Come on camera, focus on that. There you go, chocolate assortment. So that, it's like a little piece of history. It's lovely. And bearing in mind that sweet rationing carried on until, I want to say 1952, this must have been quite a luxury item. But of course it's not full of chocolates, it is full of embroidery transfers. So the iron-on transfers that you embroidered, and there's all sorts of fun things in here. So that is the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II. So I mean, it will absolutely be contemporary. Who knows what I'm going to do with this? I mean, I do love a bit of ephemera, so that is, yeah, that's lovely. Then that's a really nice little envelope, which I think must have contained one of these, and it's a typewritten address, and it has the date of 1959 on it. And what else have we got in here? So an article all about the willow pattern. And then an article about Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II, titled At Home with the Famous. So my goodness, a little bit of treasured history in a box. And let's see what else is in here. I haven't actually done all these, so let's have a look. Aha, there you go. There is the embroidery. And I wish I could find a date on this, but there isn't. Yep. Wow. Just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. The lucky dip. I mean, it'll just be really cheap costume jewellery, but hey ho, it's good fun, isn't it? That's right, I'm going to turn the camera around. So let's have a little look and see what I've got in my lucky dip. Oh, a watch. It's a very tiny watch. I think I'll redonate that. And then this, what's this? Oh yeah, I'll wear that. Bit of fun. I'll definitely wear that. But, you know, I knew it wasn't going to be anything precious, but I think that's quite good fun.